guys, this is Elias with Softly, and in this video I'm going to show you how to import WooCommerce variable products using WP All Import. Now to get started we need to get our file, and for this example I have mine here in Google Sheets. So the first step here in Google Sheets is to click on the share button and then change the general access from restricted to anyone with the link. Alright, then we need to copy this link by clicking on this button. Go here to WP All Import, click on download a file from URL and paste our file's URL here. Then click on the download button. Alright, and here we need to decide whether we want to create new items or update existing ones. The main difference between these two imports is basically what items you can target. Because for the existing items, you can target all of the products that are in your site. It doesn't matter who creates them, or maybe if you create them manually or by another import or whatever, it just doesn't matter. WP All Import will be able to target all of those products and make changes to them. Now with the new items import, you will only be able to target those products that were created by that same import. Meaning that if, for example, I create new products with this new items import, and then I want to update some of those products, I can do it. But I cannot update products that were not created by this same import using the new items import. So in this example, it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna choose new items because again, I don't have any products here. So I'm just gonna create them from scratch. Then I'm gonna select WooCommerce Products from this pull down and continue to step 2. Now here on step 2, we just need to double check that WP All Import is correctly detecting all of the rows and all of the columns in our import file. Now in this case, WP All Import says it's detecting 2038 rows, and these are the actual columns that are being detected, which is SKU, parent SKU, stock, regular price. We have 3 columns for images, the attributes, size and color. We have 4 columns for the categories, and this is the exact same structure we have here. So you can see we have our 3 image columns, the attributes, and the 4 category columns, along with the other product data. You can see that these guys right here are actually variants of this guy, which is the parent product, and all of these are its variants in different colors and sizes. So let's get this imported in WP All Import. Since all of this data is looking good, just click here on the continue to step 3 button. Alright, and here we just need to drag and drop the elements from this right panel into the appropriate import fields. Now WP All Import won't limit you to use a specific column name or whatever. You just need to drag and drop whatever element you want, like this, and place it into whatever field you want it to go. Now you will notice that this is very similar to when you're creating a product manually in WooCommerce. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna create a new product here. Alright, and here we have our title, the description, the short description, and the product data with its tabs. Now if we go here to WP All Import, this is the import template, and we have the title, the description, the short description, and the product data along with the different tabs. Now we can get pretty crazy here in this import template. We can, for example, let's drag and drop this description right here, and let's make a title before that. Let's say 10% off. All right, and let's make this red, and also a title. Let's say heading 4. That's good. Great. Then we can add a horizontal line. SKU, it's good, and drag and drop another element, and so on. We can do all sorts of crazy stuff here. So I'm gonna make this bold, and if you want to modify the HTML of this, you can do it here too. It has a lot of flexibility, guys. So let's just continue dragging and dropping the elements we want. I'm gonna place the short description here. It's good, and we can preview, and you will see that this works. All right. So let's continue with the import. We have here the WooCommerce Add-On section. So I'm gonna select variable products from this pull down, and you will notice that the variations tab shows up, And this is good. This is the exact same thing that happens when you enable the variable product here in WooCommerce. So I'm gonna drag and drop the SKU because that's the first item we have here. Then I'm gonna drag and drop the regular price and the sell price. Cool. Now these settings, I'm gonna leave them as they are because the default value actually works for me. But you can hover on these question marks and it will show you a brief description of what this option does. Now it doesn't really matter if some of these fields are left blank or uses the default options. It just means that this is gonna be blank in WooCommerce. So that's cool. Now let's jump into the inventory tab, and here I'm gonna enable the manage stock option, and I'm gonna drag and drop my stock element right here. Cool. Then we have the low stock threshold. I'm gonna say 3, but you can use whatever number works for you here. And I'm gonna choose to set automatically for the stock status. Now what this will do is to let WPL import decide whether the product is on stock or not based on its stock levels. Now this is very convenient, guys, and if you don't have any stock status element in your file, you can always use this option, because if you set it up here in stock, well, that means that every single one of these products will have a stock, and some of them may not be in stock, so that may be a problem for you, because if someone goes ahead and purchase some of your goods, you won't be able to ship them. So yeah, just use whatever option works for you. You can also set this with expat. You can hover on this question mark and you will know what the expat values are. Now what this means is basically just using one of these elements, okay? You don't actually need to know what expat is, but if you do know what expat is, then you know you can do all sorts of crazy stuff here. But for the most cases, expat just means that you can use one of your elements and drag and drop it into the field box like this, and WPL import will import this dynamically as long as it has the accepted values. All right. Now again, for this example, I'm gonna set this automatically like this, and these settings I'm gonna leave them as they are too. So I'm gonna jump into the attributes tab, because I'm gonna skip these 2 tabs because I don't have any of that information here. All right. Then we have size and color for the attributes. So let's add those. Typing here size and color. All right. And I'm gonna drag and drop the values like so. Size and color. Cool. Now, these settings, I'm gonna leave them as they are, but they basically say if I want to create variations for this attribute or not, whether I want this attribute to be visible or not, and whether I want this attribute to be a taxonomy or not. Now, I do want all of these things, so I'm gonna leave them as they are, but I'm gonna choose to add another custom attribute, and that's gonna be the brand, right? And for the brand, I'm gonna choose Softfly. All right. You can also use static data like this. You're not limited to use a specific element for your import. You can, as I said, use static data, combine it, use multiple elements in one field. You have full flexibility here. Now, here we have the ability to link all of the variations, and I don't want this because that will mean that WPL import will create every possible combination of attribute. Well, it will be a variation, and I don't want that because as I showed you before, we have here all of the variations we want to create. All right. Now, lastly, we did say we're gonna leave these 2 attributes as they are, but for this brand one, I'm gonna change one thing, and that is that I don't want this attribute to be part of the variation settings, because it wouldn't actually make sense. All of the products right here are gonna have Softfly as a brand, so it's not really needed for the user to choose size, color, and also brand if the brand is just one. All right. So since this is all looking very good, I'm gonna jump into the variations tab. And here in the variations tab, we're gonna read all of these titles and choose the scenario that resembles the most to the file structure we're using. All right. We have several options. Let me zoom in here real quick. And in this example, we have all variations for a particular product have the same title as the parent product. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, we will see the example image. Now, these products have first, this is the parent, and these are the variations. And as you can see, they all share the same title. Same with the lamp shops here. Now, if we go here to our import file, you will see that this products doesn't have the same title. So this option is not good for us. We need to choose a different one, and the one we're using is this first one. Now, this option will basically use an SKU or any other unique identifier, for example, a post ID or whatever, and each variation will be linked to that parent using that same identifier. Now, let me show you how this actually look. For example, we have here the parent product, and the parent product have this SKU, which is MH01. Now, this same value is right here in all of these variants in the parent SKU column. So we need to tell WPL import how are our values connected and how are the different variations for a particular product linked to each other. So to do that, let's go here to WPL import and drag and drop the SKU element here and the parent SKU element here. Now with this, WPL import will know how to link all of the variations together. Now let's scroll down a little bit. I will leave these settings as they are, and these two, especially this one, because we want to create products with no variations as simple products. In this file, there are some simple products, and I do want to create them all using this option. All right. Now we're ready here in the WooCommerce Add-On section, so I'm gonna scroll down a little bit and open up the images section. Now here for the images, we can go ahead and drag and drop them like so, one per line. Cool, and this will work. Let's hit the preview and test button. As you can see here, the preview. Now to make sure that the images can be downloaded, let's run a test. And WPL import was able to successfully download these images. So this is great. Let's dismiss this. You can also use this separated with commas, like so. And it will work too. All right. Cool. So let's continue. I'm going to leave these settings as they are, but you can hover on the question mark and it will show you a brief description of what this option does. Now I want to keep enabled this one and this one, especially because the first one will prevent WPL import from downloading duplicate images. And the way WPL import does that is, well, comparing either the URL like this or the file name of each one of the images that are going to be downloaded with the images in our media library. Now, if WPL import finds a match, then it won't download that image, but use the existing one. So this is very neat, especially in these kinds of import, because most of these images are the same. For example, we have the same black or gray or orange hoodie in different sizes, and I don't want to end up with thousands of duplicate images. So this option, really cool one, I'm gonna keep it enabled, and this one will set the first image to be downloaded to be the featured image. Now in this case, it's gonna be this one right here. So that's good. That's what I want. Now since we're ready here, I'm gonna go ahead and skip the custom field section and open up the taxonomy section. Here I'm gonna enable the product categories option. And if we see here, we have our category tree separated in 4 columns. So since I have a hierarchical structure, you can see here, this is the parent category. This is the child 1, child 2, and child 3. Now, I'm going to choose this option right here that says product have hierarchical parent-child product categories. And then I'm going to choose to manually design the hierarchy with drag and drop. All right. Then I'm going to drag and drop the parent category here. Cool. Then the child. And I'm going to add 2 new rows and organize them like so. Cool. With this, we have our hierarchy tree correctly set up, but we can actually go ahead and do it like this too. For example, I'm going to set this one up here. Cool. Cool. And if I hit preview, you will see that WPL import correctly sets up my hierarchy tree. So that's great. Let's leave it like this. That will work too. Now here for the other product options, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip all of this because these are just standard WordPress stuff we can just leave as it is. And this is the function editor. And guys, here, if you know PHP, you can write your own PHP functions and do pretty much whatever you want with your data. Now, if you want to know more about this function editor, or maybe about anything else we have covered in this video, you can just go ahead to wplimport.com and click on the docs menu and go nuts there. We have tons of tutorials and really fun stuff you can learn there. And if you find yourself still a little bit stuck with your import, just don't worry about it and contact our support team. We'll be more than happy to help you out, guys. Now, since all of this is covered, I'm gonna just click on the continue to step 4 button. All right, and here I'm gonna click on the auto detect button. Now this auto detect button will choose the right unique identifier for us. Now, if you want to, you can also drag and drop one of these elements or several elements here and choose a unique identifier manually. That's totally cool too. Now, these settings are basically for when you need to run this import multiple times. So what this will do is to control whether you want to create new products from this file or not, whether you want to update the data for those products on that second or third run or not. All right. You can also choose what data to update. This is very useful for example, if you have already imported all of your products and then you only want to keep the stock levels, this one right here, well, you can choose to update only that custom field. For example, go here, all right, and here you can select the custom field you want to import, and WPL import will skip all of the other fields, updating only that one. All right, for this example though, I'm gonna choose to update all of the data. And here we have the ability to remove or modify products that are not present in our import file. Now again, this is especially useful for recurring imports because say your provider has maybe taken out some products, so you probably don't want those products anymore there, right? Well, just select this option and you can choose to remove these products entirely, including the files and images attached to them. Or you can choose to set them to draft, or maybe change the stock levels to out of stock or whatever. That's entirely up to you. All right. Now I'm not gonna choose this in this run, but after we have finished with this import, I'm gonna delete some products from here, and we're gonna rerun this same import with these settings. All right. Now we have here the scheduling options, and this is pretty neat, guys, because it will allow you to run this import automatically on a schedule. You will find a lot more info on this at wplimport.com, and then click on the docs menu and find the scheduling options. Now we have two options for this. We have the automatic scheduling service, which will allow you to set up these schedules here in the WordPress UI. It's very easy to do. For example, I have set up here this import to run every single day at 12 a.m. But I can also run it maybe at 10 a.m. or whatever. It's totally up to you guys. This is very simple. But again, if you feel a little bit lost here, just contact our support team. We'll be more than happy to help you out. We can also process this import via cron jobs, but this is a little bit more advanced. If you have doubts about this, you can just click here on this link and it will take you directly to our docs on cron jobs. Now, we're not gonna do that in this example. We have tons of videos and this guide to help you out with that. So I'm gonna choose to not schedule, close this. And finally, we have here some advanced settings, and this is mostly for debugging purposes. Just hover on the question mark and you will know what to do. If your import maybe terminates or whatever, this is where you want to go first. All right. Then we have the ability to import only specific records, and this is pretty neat because say you only want to import the first 100 items. Well, just set it up like this, and WPL import will import only these from the first record all the way through the 101. All right. You can also add a comma here and import the 501 too, or add another comma and import from the 600 to the maybe 1000, and WPL import will process whatever rule you have here. All right, cool. We're gonna use a friendly name here. Right, so since we're done here, I'm gonna choose continue and run our import. Now this is gonna take a minute or two, so I'm just gonna pause the video here and come back when it's ready. Alright guys, so the import is complete. Let's see how our products came in. And we can see we have 191 products, which is great because this is the number of products we expected. Now, this is looking great. Let's see how this looks in the front end, where we have this beautiful website and all of the products seem to be here, which is very nice, guys. Now let's open this one up, see what's going on here. We have different sizes and different colors, and you can see that once I select a variation, the image also changes, so that's great. Now we have our other images here. We have the description with the 10% of static data replaced and the SKU down here. Now in the additional information tab, we have our attributes, and the size and color one are used for variations as I showed you before, but the supply one, which is the brand one, is not. So that's great because that's how we set it up. Now here on the edit product page, we have our title, the description, we have our images, the category tree is looking good, exactly as we designed it to be. Now we have our stock management, the quantity, the low stock threshold, the short description. Here we have our attributes, size, color, and brand, which is not used for variations. Then we have the variations tab, and as you can see, all of the products have their own image, their own SKU, their own regular and sell price, the stock quantity. And yeah, guys, this is looking real nice. The only thing left for us to do is to change this import file, and I'm going to choose to remove, let's say, let's remove all of these products. All right, I'm gonna delete this from this import file, and then I'm gonna go here to all import, manage imports. All right, and then I'm gonna choose the settings option, and this is pretty much the same we find in step 4. Now I'm gonna enable the remove or modify products that are no longer in this import file option, and I'm gonna choose to delete or remove products that are no longer here. Now I don't want to delete their images in case some other product is using them for this example, but you can choose to do so if you want to. Now again, I'm gonna choose to remove all of the products that are no longer present here. Now we deleted a bunch of them, so let's see how this looks if we rerun this import. Now if you choose to go this way, WPL import will show you a warning that basically says, hey, you need to acknowledge that you know what you're doing, because what you're trying to do here is potentially dangerous. So have a backup just in case. So I'm gonna type in I have backups. All right, just to acknowledge that. Then I'm gonna confirm this, click on the run button, and just go ahead with our import. Now again, this is gonna take a minute or two, so I'm just gonna pause the video here and come back when it's ready. Alright guys, so the import is complete again, and you can see that WPL import updated a bunch of records, then deleted 90 records, and changed 6 missing ones. Now these 90 records are the variants of those products that we deleted from the import file, and those records were grouped in 6 variable products. So if we go here to all products, you can see that we no longer have 191 products. Now we have 188. Now let's take a look on the front end again, and as you can see, all of the other products are still here, and the site continues to work as expected. The only difference is that those products that are no longer here are no longer in our site. Now this is, guys, so you know that you can do this. You can have a feed or maybe a Google Sheets file or whatever, and if that file is updated, WPL import will recognize that data and import it correctly. Now guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to learn more about how to import or export other WordPress data like WooCommerce Products, orders, Jet Engine custom fields, ACF custom fields, and really a lot of other fun stuff. Just check out the other videos in our channel or go to our website at wpolimport.com. See you next time.